Hey, sweetie, your mother showed me this Carvana thing for selling the car. I'm gonna give it a try. Wish me luck. Me again. I put in the license plate. It gave me an offer. Unbelievable. Okay, I accepted the offer. They're picking it up Tuesday from the driveway. I haven't even left my chair. It's done. The car is gone. I'm holding a check. Anyway, Carvana, give it a whirl. Love ya.
So good, you'll want to leave a voicemail about it. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NHL.
Cooley marching into the offensive zone. Pulls up on the near side and fights his way through a check. Up top, Lawson Krause relays it over. Cooley a one-timer, and he scores! Logan Cooley has Utah's first Stanley Cup playoff goal. This is pushed around the wall. Stenlund towards the front. Rebound. It dribbles in, and they score! The Mammoth get a lucky bounce here in Vegas. Utah wins it back. And then they turn it right over. Nick Dowd hands it off. It's Sissons up top. Hannafin with a wrister tipped in, and they score! Nick Dowd gives Vegas their first lead of the series.
And the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Utah Mammoth 4-2. They win Game 1 of their first-round Stanley Cup playoff series. The Mammoth led 1-0 after one period, 2-1 after two, but it was all Vegas in the third period, PK. They had more possession. They had more shots. They scored all three of the goals. They went in the net in that third period. There was a lot of talk throughout that whole broadcast they had, and they had the whole graphics, all the playoff experience and all that. And I think if that's your theory, it is easy to point at that third period and say all that playoff experience paid off for the Golden Knights.
Rats. It was just Game 1, but, we'll see what they do on the adjustments and so forth. But, everything you said, all factual.
Yeah. Vegas really was just, delivering hits all over the ice. I thought the Mammoth tried to hold up against that pretty well. But as far as, the Mammoth are the faster, quicker, more athletic team, and Vegas is bigger and tougher. And we know the Mammoth have been drafting and bringing in guys with real size, and most of them aren't with the club yet. But you could see why Vegas was just crushing guys every time they had a chance, knocking them over the boards, crushing them in the corners, whatever it was.
Nobody pushes Yamamoto around. I'm telling you that right now.
Right now. Game 2 tomorrow, 7:30 on ESPN2 and right here on The Zone. They're still in Vegas for Game 2 at T-Mobile Arena tomorrow night. The other playoff results, the game everybody's talking about, Buffalo hasn't been in the playoffs forever. At home, down 2 goals, getting shut out with 8 minutes to go, and they score 4 times in 7 minutes. Bedlam, chaos. They come back to win 4-3 in regulation. Didn't even need overtime. 4 goals in 7 minutes. That place was going nuts. That game overlapped with the start of the Vegas game, so that's how I turned into it, and I assume a lot of people did too. That was a pretty chaotic scene in Buffalo, PK. Those people were awfully happy.
Oh, man, and they deserve it. I love the people of Buffalo.
Doubleheaders on ESPN and ESPN2 tonight. The Western games, Minnesota and Dallas, 7:30 on ESPN. And Anaheim and Edmonton play Game 1. Everybody else playing Game 2, but they're playing Game 1 tonight at 8 o'clock on ESPN2. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NBA.
8 opening games in the NBA playoffs. The home team, the team with the better record in the regular season, won 7 of them, but the Orlando Magic did surprise the Detroit Pistons, beat them 112-101. Pistons had a huge edge at the free throw line. Neither team shot the three particularly well, but what David Locke was just talking about in that last segment, how well do you defend at the rim? The Pistons, outside of Cade Cunningham, could not make a 2-point shot. That was terrible. They were really struggling. And so Orlando gets the win in Game 1.
Wow.
Wow, that's it, huh? Victor Wembanyama, 35 points. San Antonio crushes Portland 111-98. Wembanyama making it easy. How about Tim Duncan over there with the gray beard, man? Father Time is undefeated. What happened? He aged like the rest of us.
I don't understand why guys grow beards when they're white or gray. It just makes them look older.
Yep. But he's got it nonetheless. Yeah. No Kevin Durant. He's got a knee contusion, so he was out for Game 1. The Lakers beat Houston 107-98. Obviously, the Lakers missing 2 guys as well. And that was just the LeBron James show as he took over and had like 8 assists in the first quarter, directing everything. The Lakers took control of that pretty quickly.
I thought it was the Luke Kennard show. He couldn't miss.
Yeah, he could not. You're right. 9 of 13 shooting. He had it going. Tonight, Toronto and Cleveland. Donovan Mitchell had 32 in Game 1. The Cavs won Game 1. They play Game 2 tonight on Peacock and the NBC Sports Network, 5 o'clock. The Knicks and Atlanta, 6 o'clock on NBC. And Minnesota and Denver at 8:30 tonight on NBC. There you go. Playoff doubleheader. Over the air. Easy to find. Do you care about the NBA MVP race? The 3 finalists, Victor Wembanyama, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, all 3 of them had great years. You got a favorite? Either one you believe will win or one you think should win.
Oh, I don't know who's going to win. I don't know what they're thinking there. I would still go Jokic. He's the best player in the league, right, in my mind. But Wembanyama, if it was a horse race, man, they're coming down the stretch, and he's gaining strides, and he takes big strides. So he's going to be good for a number of years. I mean, this award it's for show. It's something to do. You get a little bit of buzz. You know, they do it during the playoffs, so I don't think it gets that big of a buzz as, say, what baseball would do waiting until after the playoff. You know, the MVP of the finals always trumps this in my mind, but these are all 3 good players, and I can live with any one of them getting it.
Yeah. Charles Barkley criticized Michael Jordan as an owner once upon a time, and that ended their friendship. That went ice cold. Barkley said the 2 are now getting back together, expected to golf this summer after the NBA season ends. Jordan has obviously sold the team. Maybe he realizes it wasn't personal, and Barkley was doing his job.
It's the circle of life. Rapinoe and Bird split. Barkley and Jordan get back together.
It happens.
Yeah.
DJ and PK.
#NFL.
Reports all along, all these questions about A.J. Brown in Philadelphia. Now the reports the Eagles are open to trading A.J. Brown, and the Patriots want to acquire him. But due to contract considerations and salary cap rules, a move not expected to be executed until around June 1st rather than this week. So look forward to that. And the Steelers don't know what Rodgers is doing. He hasn't announced yet. The draft starts Thursday. I suspect after the draft he'll make it clear. This all goes back to Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta and then Atlanta drafting somebody. I don't know if veteran quarterbacks at their end of their career want to go in front of the draft anymore. Trust is low. And he can go somewhere else if Pittsburgh goes and gets a quarterback.
Could he, though?
I think he could, yeah.
Like where?
Nowhere good, which is why I think he's going to go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's mediocre. But are there desperate teams that would want him? Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Arizona, hello.
I don't think so.
Really? I expect they won't draft someone and he'll go to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
But we'll see how it plays out. The Ravens wide receiver Zay Flowers said that tough practices by former coach John Harbaugh led to more injuries, especially late in the season. Full pads all the time. Flowers said in an appearance on the Fourth and South podcast. However many practices and pads you can get, every single one. We're doing one-on-ones in Week 17. Everybody out there, we're tired. We're still going. Doing one-on-ones.
So what's the new guy? Minter? Is that his name there? So he's going to come in. We're going to be soft. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah, that's probably not his opening line. Cincinnati traded the 10th overall pick to the Giants in exchange for defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. He gets a 1-year, $28 million extension and give him 3 years left on his deal. And the Giants now have the 5th and 10th overall selections in the first round Thursday. So with Harbaugh there now, with John Harbaugh there now, they can go young. They've already been adding pieces. We know quarterback and running back, and now they got 2 of the top 10.
We're a breaking news organization right here, and what's trending, and Yak has got it.
What you got, Yak?
49ers and 12-time Pro Bowl left tackle Trent Williams reached a contract agreement, 2 years, $50 million deal to keep him in place.
Sources say.
The linchpin to the 49ers offensive line returns.
The John Lynchpin.
Nice play. Nice play on words. DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
North Carolina State used an out clause due to the ACC changing their schedule from 8 games to 9 games for 2027. So their road game at Texas Tech is canceled. Texas Tech then canceled a game against North Texas, and they've got 2 open non-conference games in 2027. That's unusual, just a year away, to have 2 spots in the schedule. We'll see what Texas Tech does with those.
I bet you they fill them.
Yes. With who? With what? What's their strategy? Marquee game or just easy W's? Just
I think it's with whom.
With which school?
Either.
Either.
I don't want to leave out the E. If I go either, then I'm leaving out the E. I don't want to leave out the E.
Albert Mendoza, younger brother of Heisman Trophy winner Fernando Mendoza, has been named the starting quarterback for Georgia Tech after his transfer from Indiana, where he backed up his brother this past season. So, welcome to the ACC, Alberto Mendoza. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Yeah, the New York Mets. They've lost 11 in a row, longest streak in 20-plus years. Gave up a run in the 9th to the Cubs to tie the game 1-1, another run in the 10th to lose 2-1. So now they go home for 9 games, and players saying it's going to get loud. $352 million payroll, PK, and they dropped 11 in a row.
Yeah, that's unexplainable. I don't know why. I mean, payrolls don't guarantee, but at the same time, if you have a high one, you're usually at least competitive, and that's not been the case. You look at your Padres, right? They're like 13-2. I was reading in Nightingale's Sunday column that the prior owner payroll exceeded $200 million since 2022, making them third, only behind the Mets and the Yankees in 2023. And now the Padres are still rolling them, and the Mets just plunged to the bottom, to depths that you just wouldn't see with that level. I mean, that's a comparison. So you got, the Yankees are usually competitive. They haven't won a World Series, and so that's always traumatic because of the Yankees. And the Padres haven't either, but, they've been competitive for many, many years, selling out the place left and right. And then the Mets, who are in the ballpark with those salaries, just awful. It's so mind-boggling there.
Yeah, the Padres have started slashing payroll, but, it's all relative. It's still a massive payroll. And you're right.
Well, now they're going to go with the private equity. Feliz Navidad, Jose Feliciano. Oh, man. I want to wish you a Merry October.
Dodgers and Yankees are leading the division. The Padres are half game behind the Dodgers. And then there's the Mets at 7-15. And there's really no sign this was coming. They went 7-4 in their first 11, and now they've lost 11 in a row. Out of the gate, it looked fine. It looked like, all right, they're winning almost 2 out of 3 games. This is who they ought to be. They ought to be good, if not great. Cubs sweep them. Cubs. Can you explain the National League Central with all 5 teams with winning records right now?
They've sucked for so many years that they got high draft picks, and now they're moving up the system.
Finally had to get it right.
Getting to the big leagues, yeah.
Deepest division in baseball, no doubt about that right now. Salt Lake Bees lost to the Sugarland Space Cowboys in their series finale, 7-4. They're off today and start a series in Las Vegas tomorrow. DJ and PK.
Hashtag RSL.
Real Salt Lake scores twice in the first 6 minutes. They scored 4 times in the first half, and they hold on to beat San Diego 4-2. Their unbeaten streak now at 6 in a row. They were really flying in that game, and then did not have the same energy in the second half and needed Rafa Cabral to make a couple of big saves late to hold on for that 4-2 win. But 6 straight matches, tied for third in the West, and they've got Miami headed in Wednesday, the much-anticipated Messi visit. Messi played all 90 minutes in Colorado on Saturday, scored twice. There are people worried he won't play, and then there are people saying, well, They just had the coaching change there, and his guy's in charge. He's got to play and make his guy look good. So guess we'll wait to hear and see what they do with Messi as far as does he start? Does he play all 90? Does he come off the bench? What are they going to do with him? But the legend is coming to town Wednesday.
And I was appalled at your line of questioning. I mean, celebrate the win, the greatest half they had, and you're worried about a little slippage, which is just natural at the end, especially when they got 2 other games coming up in a short span of time, and you're worried about them having the same intensity, and Cabral's got to make a couple of saves. Well, he made a couple of saves. What's wrong with you?
He did. Did you run out of air there at the end? What happened to you, man?
Yeah, because I'm just astounded, that line of questioning. What are you, Shaq with Donovan Mitchell here?
I don't think you're astounded at all.
And you with the personal post. Hey, media, it's now my time. I get the next 17 questions.
Now I asked 3. He's up over there.
Jeez. I'm gonna.
PK.
I gotta be there next game so I can interrupt you, because everybody knows when I interrupt you, don't. If I'm not there, you're uninterrupted with your soccer dialogue.
There it is. DJ and PK.
#golf.
Matt Fitzpatrick outduels Scotty Scheffler. Beats him on the first playoff hole to win the RBC Heritage. That's your guy right there, Matty Fitz. You saw him.
Yeah, I was just I was a week off, but I got it right.
You were a week off. This time. When he broke through and won his major, you were the guy.
Yeah, that was my greatest pick ever.
It. Yeah. Scheffler going low, 64 Saturday, 67 Sunday, and it's still not enough. I mean, he walks away with $2 million.
Still not. He's got Meredith, Bennett, and Remy. It's not enough? What are you kidding? Couldn't be happier, man. Why trade 5 minutes of just fun times for Bennett, Remy, and Meredith? I can't wait for number 3. I hope it's a girl.
A no-cut event. And Tony Finau shoots 3 straight 75s, then a final round 70, finishes last and takes home $30,000, 11 over. And the no-cut premium events, that's supposed to change with this new schedule. There's supposed to be, I don't know if there'll be none of them. There'll be less of them, I suppose.
Fewer of them, if you will, if you want to be grammatically correct.
Yes, that. Grammatically correct, sure. Yeah, that'd be good. What is going on with Tony? He didn't qualify for the Masters. It's a bad run of form right now. And he's still young enough. He ought to be the guy he was 3-4 years ago, but it's golf. Stuff goes away. How does he get it back?
Well, is life other things more important to him than golf? That's a question that I think is fair. And if it is,
up, right?
then he certainly has the right to decide, do I want to practice today, or am I going to go to my kid's event, or whatever I want to do with involving the family. He's got an emerging family, obviously, so he has to figure that out, or is he comfortable? I mean, these are questions that I think they're all on the table, and the answers are so personal that I don't think they can be anything that's debatable. If that's what he wants, or is he still devoting as much time, but the results aren't there? Is something wrong with the swing? Is it the mental aspect of it? Whatever he might, and he's not prominent enough that people are going to ask him those questions because he's not being in the interview situation. But that's for people around here who follow him. They probably would want to know the answers. And if he says, hey, I'm comfortable with where things are in my life, I got to get better in my game. Okay, whatever he says, I think for him is right.
And will carry the day. All right, Slacker Radio Headlines brought to you by Trajan Wealth. And What is Trending is brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Shamrock Plumbing bringing you the headlines here this morning. Coming up, we got the question of the day. Jay Stevens, host of the Utah Puck Report, is going to join us at 9 o'clock to talk Mammoth playoff hockey. We'll get to the question of the day next. Hot Takes or Toast on the way. Stay with us.
Stay up to date with everything Utah Jazz related with the new Jazz Notes newsletter. Get draft updates, analysis, and be the first to know about every offseason move. Visit KSLSports.com to sign up for the Jazz Notes newsletter.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did you have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We are brought to you in part by Beehive Meals. The KSL Sports Zone and Beehive Meals are honoring people that impact youth sports in our communities. Nominate the youth sports volunteer you know for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at KSLSports.com/contest. And listen every Thursday afternoon to JJ and Alex for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week.
Listen to who?
Who? Stand by. PK, the question up, inspired by a national TV visit of one Ryan Smith. On the Pat McAfee show, Ryan Smith said, I believe we're going to win a championship here in Utah. There's no woe is me here at all. We're going to do it. Closed quote. What's your confidence level? Royce, Ryan is all in on winning. There's no other owner I'd rather have. We need to, quote, trust the process.
Yeah.
And hope for a good selection this year and for added development of existing players and for all of them to gel together. Having Keontae George progress this year like he did, plus the addition of Jaren Jackson Jr. and how Ace was showing flashes of talent are all hopes for the future. And with some luck, we'll be in the thick of it this time next year. My only thought is, who do we want this year in the draft? Boozer's kid, Peterson, or AJ? I know the answer to that. I think they want AJ. I think everybody thinks they want AJ. You'd settle for the other two if you're picking second or third, but if you're picking first, they're going to pick AJ.
I think so, yeah. I think that's a fact. Hatback tells us he's bullish on the NBA. And you need to think like that. It's obviously against long odds right now. That could change. Check back 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I think Hatback is in there for the long run. And with that in mind, it may not even be anybody on this group. They may all be retired with this group of players. So Keontae George and AJ DiBonsa and whomever, they may be long done when that time comes. Who knows? Right? But I think you need to think that way and pursue with the purpose of accomplishing that, and then you go from there.
Lyle says growth on the court is lacking. Fans getting disappointed in the interim. Chances? Less than 50-50 in the next 6 years.
Oh, I would take that.
I would too. I was about to say, who's better than 50-50?
Yeah.
And you could say, Oklahoma City again or San Antonio with Victor Wembanyama. But we've been doing the show long enough, PK, when Oklahoma City got their last group together with Durant and with Harden and Russell Westbrook. And they got to a final and they lost to LeBron. And I was just so impressed. And somewhere in that process, I said, well, they're going to win a championship. And you immediately came back with, I don't know about that. I wouldn't count on that. Maybe they look good, but crazy things happen. And sure enough, ownership broke them up. And they never did get the title. They never got there. So when this current group of Celtics got together, I wanted to say the same, like, these guys will do it. And I was impressed with the way they were playing. They seemed to be in the conference finals every year. Now, they did eventually do it, but I never blurted that out because I remembered our last discussion. There's too many things that can happen. If you had 50-50 of winning a title over a 5 or 6 year span, you probably ought to take it.
Yeah, there's no question about that. I think that, for the Jazz this next season, it's about them. It's not about anybody else. It's about what they do, because I don't know that they're competing for a title, right? And they have an opportunity. Can they win 40 games? Can they win 45? Can they win 50? I mean, you start getting up into 55, that is high-level territory, right? So I'm not going to go there. And who knows, maybe they can surprise us. But for the sake of argument and discussion, that it's about them next year. I'm not concerned about any other team in the division, in the conference, in the league. Doesn't matter. Now, if you want to talk legitimate, hardcore title contender, then that's where you have to factor in who is the competition. Because you may have a great team and you simply are not better than Team X, say, right? But I don't know that they're at that level. Maybe they can pre at that level. Maybe they'll just hit the ground running and it'll just be an incredible run for these guys. I'm not going to say it's impossible, but until I start to see this group having some success, I want to be conservative in my line of thinking. I do think they'll have a fine season next year. I'm anticipating a lot of fun, a lot of home wins for the fans and everything, and that's important. And we want to get that back. Obviously, they want to get it back, and I do think they'll get it back. But if you take it that next step, or how many steps you got, that's where competition comes in. And I always said that the statues, it's not about getting beat to Jordan. It's about getting beat when Jordan was out. It's not about getting beat in the 80s to the Lakers. It's about getting beat when Jordan was not playing those couple of years. That's the stickler for me. If you really have 40% of the 5 greatest players of all time, that was your time, and you didn't get it done. And that's what'll sting, if it does sting for you. If it's not, so be it. It's not so much, they like to say, well, they lost to Jordan and Bavetta got in the way and blah, 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 blah. That's not it. That wasn't the failure. The failure was to capitalize. And for Houston and Olajuwon, he's going to have that stature because he did capitalize on it. Somebody had to capitalize. The door was flung wide open, and the Rockets went through. Good for them. I happen to believe there's no reason why the Jazz couldn't have gone through, but they didn't. That's the stickler there. So because I think the Jazz at some point are going to be a title contender, maybe in the next 2 years, 3 years. Who is the competition? They're not there right now, so I don't care about the competition. I care about them playing good ball next season. So if I'm Ryan Smith, I think that. And my whole goal is that, and certainly he loves going on McAfee because McAfee's cutting edge, and Ryan can wear his hat back and look like he's, all cool in his 30s and look at me, and I get that. That's and it's natural for him. It's new, so it's exciting. He wants to do that, get some national run, and then when he goes to Vegas with the hockey team, he can go out on the plaza and everybody knows who he is. Sure. I would do the same thing, no doubt about it. And I'd have my hat back too, and my Mammoth shirt, jersey, or whatever the weather allows you to do. If it's not too warm, you can wear the whole thing and be a part of the scene. That's what. Once you created Qualtrics, that was your destiny, and that's what you wanted. Now you got that. Now go ahead, and if you ever brought a title to either of these teams, particularly the NBA, because it's a little more prominent than the NHL. Wow, then you'd really be something. And he should be thinking about that. And shows to the Angels and Jay-Z and everybody else.
You said at the start, and I think it was just kind of, colloquial or something, or just being conversational, I don't know that they're playing for a championship next year. I think you do know, and they're not.
I don't want to rule it out.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be stunning for them to come out of nowhere with as many young players as we think they're going to play, with as many players who've never been in a playoff game as we think, and have them win a championship. I
didn't say win it.
What?
I didn't say win it. There's
Well,
a
even
difference
getting to that
between
top tier
winning and being a
competing
contender.
Would be a massive jump,
Yeah, but see, things can break their way. They can get in the playoff, win a series, and then the series that they would place the winner of, and that team is expected to win, they have a couple of turned ankles and they lose. And all of a sudden, you're playing deep into the second round with a legitimate chance to go to the conference final. So that's why crazy things can happen in the world. And so I'm not going to rule that out. I'm not going to bet on it.
Seems top shelf.
It does.
That they could jump up next year and be on that tier with the Wolves, the Rockets, and the Lakers. And the last time they were in the conference final was that kind of deal. They're in a 4-5 series and they won it, and the 8 upset the 1. So now you got a path to the conference final, and that group took it with Boozer and Williams.
Okay, so they can be in the 7th, and the number 2 gets upset.
And then they got smoked in the conference final.
Fine.
Yeah.
And I would take that for next year.
For next year I would too, but that doesn't have you competing for a championship. That has you
suppose you
get into the Western Conference
you're
final.
the king of wanting the backdoor
stuff. Be excited.
You can get that. That's not shocking to me. And the other team gets a couple injuries, and you get that opportunity. And let's see, man. You're going to have a payroll that's going to come approaching that level.
Oh, yeah.
And so if you got the payroll, where much is given, much is expected. Markkanen's got to ball out next year. And I don't want to see him sitting over there smiling with his hair all curled. I don't want to, maybe 10 times. I don't want to see that. Anything beyond that, I'm going to call him out. It seems like I'm the only guy willing to call him out, but I'm going to call him out. I'm tired of him. Well, yeah, I'm going to play for my Finnish national team this summer, and we're going to do really well. No, I want it to be, I'm so gassed because I played so much, played so hard for so long that I don't got anything left. And I need to regroup in the summer instead of going, and then we got to read in July and August. Wow, he had 72 points and 43 rebounds in a game. I don't care. It's not where he's making his money. I want him here doing it for this team.
Well, they won't be tanking next year, so they won't be looking to stash him away. So
right.
We'll see if see if he can actually hold up for 82 games. Well, or like you said, 72.
Well, and then be available for the postseason.
Yep. Which, this year the injuries in the league are bleeding over into the postseason here. I think it's, probably 4 high-profile players sitting out game 1 of the playoffs with an injury. Durant was out, Embiid was out, Doncic is out, Reeves is out.
Don't put Joel on that list. It's news when Joel isn't out.
A lot of money where much is given, much is expected, but you're right, he's out a lot.
And what I'm expecting for him is not to play.
And they're sitting on 45 wins in the 7th seed and probably gone in the first round to the Celtics.
Right. I mean, that's if they re-up him, I mean, come on, he's a heck of a player, but unfortunately,
he doesn't.
I'm not saying he's dogging it. I'm just saying, unfortunately, he just doesn't play very often. It's news when he plays. It's not news the other way. It's dog bites man when he sits, and man bites dog when he plays. But in Markkanen, I was told he had a big bounce back season in his limited deal. Okay, now I play the level that you played this year with your bounce back season, and do it 65, 70 times, and then they'll be in the thick of the playoff. And if a couple of things break their way, who's to say? But when Hatback says that he's bullish on the NBA and he expects to win a title, that could be 20 years from now. So it may have not anything to do with any of these guys. Maybe somebody in the 2nd grade right now.
Even if it's 4 or 5 years from now, where will the 2 most expensive guys be? Jaren Jackson Jr. and Lauri Markkanen are getting $50 million a year, and they're signed up for 3 years. This team could look very different in 4 years. So,
well, most teams do.
Yeah. Royce with that trust the process line. Man, that thing got used with Philadelphia. Do we want to hear anybody say trust the process anymore? Since that process
Kyle Whittingham uses it all the time. Don't use that phrase, but organic. Not Kevin, but Dennis Lindsay used to like to say organically.
Organic development.
That was their big phrase because he knew trust the process has already been taken. So since it's already been taken, you can't really do that. I mean, your guy Pablo says it too. I mean, it's just that's a phrase that means essentially don't hold me accountable if we lose.
Brian says, I didn't catch the show. However, if Ryan is talking about the Mammoth, I would agree. If he's talking about the Jazz, never, all caps, exclamation point.
That's
never.
You didn't catch the show? This is 2026. I didn't catch the show either.
Go watch this clip on social media.
I don't ever watch McAfee. The only time I see it is in the 5 minutes that we're in the studio here and the TV is on. Although the TV hasn't been on for almost a month now.
Turn that thing on.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I never had to. If I don't have to learn something, forget it. And that's the only time I've ever watched the show. And I watched it when Kyle drove across the stage in his motorcycle because we talked about it.
Yeah.
Other than that, so you can catch the show. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to see Love Boat Saturday. How was the episode?
Brilliant. Tremendous writing.
They sailed out of San Pedro, California, my California hometown.
You just watched for the open. Pedro!
Well, at the time, I did not know I was going to be living there.
Alex says, win a championship, 0% with the defensive levels the last 3 years. I think it's actually the last 4, Alex, but I get your point. I think we're all anticipating that is about to change. And if it doesn't, then it'll drag them down. There's no doubt about it.
Sure, but again, it could be 20 years from now.
Yeah.
He
bought the club young enough that his runway is pretty long.
He didn't put a timetable on it. I don't think that. I watched the whole thing, not live, amazingly. I had my daughter figure out how I can find it. I'm just kidding. Just type in McAfee and away you go. Who knows what is in store. I think the thing that if I'm a Jazz fan is that he seems to be aggressive enough to want to make the moves when the time comes. Whenever that may be. Maybe it's with this group and they just need a little bit more. That's what I took from that, is that when he says that, he really believes it, I think he really believes it, which means he's going to do whatever possible is to say, we did it. That's the most important thing. I don't know the timeline, and no one does, and I don't know the core of players. I hope it's this core of players. That'd be great. But if it's not, there'll be another time. The fact is, in 10, 15 years, when he's, around 60 or so, that it most likely, definitely will be an entirely different group. But if he has the passion and commitment and wants it, then he's going to do what it takes to get it done. That doesn't mean it's going to get done, but because he can't play, he can only have the wherewithal to try all that was in his power, so to speak, to be able to do it, right? It's the Mark Cuban thing. He's this version of Mark Cuban. He struck it big, came out of nowhere, and then became a big-time celebrity, right? I don't know that you can find a better comparison. Well, Cuban's team got it done. Were they the best team? No, I don't think so. But a bunch of events transpired, and they got it done.
And they got there.
Yeah. So that's why I don't see much difference between those two. And if events transpire their way, they can get it done too. And
Man
there's no
says, my
doubt in my
confidence
mind.
level is 0. You do not build a winning culture by losing on purpose. Ainge should be fired. Smith should be forced out. They've failed our community.
That's over. It's no forced out. That's ridiculous.
And Oklahoma City lost on purpose, built a winning culture, and won a championship. So I disagree with the premise.
Well, the Spurs lost on purpose too.
It's been done recently. And it may be San Antonio may be about to do it here in 2 more months. And if not, in a year and 2 months.
Well, they're going to be contenders for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
And we'll see how these rules change on that. I think they need a total overhaul. Forget that we're going to try to limit your ability to win. And if you're going to limit my ability to lose to win, then you've got to eliminating my ability to win. If I want to pay whatever I want to pay, so be it. And it's bad for the league. And dynasties are awesome. Name me a time a dynasty happened in pro sports that was bad.
It's frustrating for the teams that are close and can't win it. But the hate watching, it draws eyeballs. Are those guys going to win again? Man, it worked for the Patriots in the NFL. We saw that.
Tell me when it didn't work. Don't tell me when it did work.
Last time they had it rolling. It's working with the Dodgers right now.
Tell me when it didn't work. I know when it happens, it does work. Tell me when it happened and it didn't work.
All the recent dynasties have led to this.
Right.
Yeah.
That sounds good that they did that because that's the way the people who run the league kind of believe in that politically, but I don't think it's the right way to go.
The commissioner's going to say that because you got 29 frustrated owners or however many teams are in your league. You got one team winning. And the commissioner wants to keep his job. I get the politics that lead to somebody saying that, but the results for the league, as far as eyeballs on the league, whether it's tickets or merchandise sale or TV ratings or whatever, it has a gigantic impact. It draws people's
Shouldn't
attention.
by definition then every year you have 29 frustrated teams? When would that change?
But when it's the same 29 3 or 4 years in a row, that's when commissioners start saying that kind of stuff.
I don't know. I don't know what was going on when the Celtics were doing that. I can't speak to that.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Stay with us. We'll get to the Mammoth and the playoffs at the top of the hour right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
And now, a look at traffic from the KSL Traffic Center.
Get a crash southbound I-15 at 2600 South and Woods Cross is blocking the right shoulder. Heavy delays reaching back all the way into Centerville at this moment with that. Northbound I-15 has pockets of slowdowns between 123rd South up to the I-80 201 interchange in South Salt Lake. So be aware of that if you're headed northbound. Also northbound Bangor Highway, Mount View Corridor still heavy and slow throughout West Valley City this morning. This Mother's Day treat mom to something unforgettable at the Roof with our brand new spring into summer brunch menu that she will love. Celebrate mom in style above the heart of Salt Lake City. Go to theroofslc.com for more information and reservations. With your KSL traffic update, I'm Jake Hatch right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Want to get the latest info on Utah's newest sports franchise? Sign up for the Utah Mammoth newsletter. Get exclusive analysis, plus the latest news and notes on the Utah Mammoth. Sign up today at KSLSports.com for the Utah Mammoth newsletter.
Mom, can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope. She bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. PK, you enjoy that weather this weekend? Get out and golf a little bit?
Oh, yes, I did. My wife and I got paired up with 4 women. Now, that's a total of 5 women. And, really, back in my ASU days, that's no big deal. So I've had experience with that.
Yeah.
Yes. So there were 2 women that played and 2 women who just drove along. They were the chauffeurs.
Okay. I was going to ask, how are you playing with 6 out there? Like
Very slowly. That's how you would play.
Okay, anyways, continue.
So it was 4 of us playing and 2 women each driving. So that would have been a total of 5, counting my old lady. And we got in the back 9, and they were asking questions, and And let's face it, my face looks older than dirt. Are you retired? No, I am not. It's not even on my mind. No. Especially now with this rejuvenation on the zone, which will be later announced later here. Stay with us. It's exciting news forthcoming. And so then they started to guess my occupation, and they had 3 guesses. And I want you two to guess what those occupations were.
Gravedigger.
No.
Stockbroker.
You're along the line.
I was going to say insurance, like broker.
Somebody said, "Are you in finance?"
Oh,
and I laughed.
Financial analyst.
Okay,
yeah.
fair, yeah.
Okay.
Am I in finance? I don't know the first friggin' thing about that.
You talk finances from time to time.
I don't do any of our finances. I know nothing. I show up for work. I got a couple of streams of income that are direct deposit. And when I come home, occasionally there's some 20s on my dresser.
That's how PK's world works.
That's it. I have a friend who says, "Oh, how much did you pay? What is the green fee at fill in the blank course?" I say, "I don't know. Now, I've got one friend now, he knows never to ask me that. He asked her, what did you pay? Because he knows. Like I told you, last year we were going to go to Hawaii, and I told the guy, I don't think we can afford it. And he looked at me and he said, how would you know? And he was right.
Okay, we're getting off the topic here. Finance. I'm going to go with, because of the Vegas showgirl, I'm going to think somebody thinks you were in modeling or clothing.
I appreciate the compliment, but no.
Okay.
I look hot in leather. What can I say?
That's true.
Aviation. You look like a pilot. Man of your experience.
No.
What were the other guesses then?
Well, the other one was accountant, which was sort of along the line.
Finance.
That's finance. Those are hand in hand.
I was never going to go back to that.
Which is why I gave it to you.
I
Yes.
thought I had something with aviation. I thought I was.
And no, if they only knew, man, and I'm a klutz when it comes to math. I have no ability to do anything like that. It couldn't be further from the truth. And then the third one was, generally speaking, sales. And
fair.
I wouldn't know how to sales.
But they're thinking about, okay, he's here in the afternoon playing golf. What would
Right,
allow
he
him
controls
to
his own schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was the weekend. But
yeah, okay.
And sales, that would require you to have a personality and to be friendly. And I have neither of those.
Give me that Family Feud X.
And then I told them my job, and they were all from Seattle. They were on a house swap deal. So there was 4 couples, and so the 4 husbands who played golf were behind us. So
in the next group, yeah.
Yeah, which made me a little nervous that they didn't want to play with them, because I'll play golf with my wife anytime. But they were in the group behind us, and they told us there's just something you go online and you can use our house and we'll use your house. So they're all from Seattle on a golf trip in the St. George area. And and the one gal asked me, how do I get out of the sand? And I told her, I said, make sure you take a real swing. I'll hit it way long. No, you won't if you do what I tell you to do. And she did it, and she got out. And she looked at me with like, when you go to teach some, I had this when I was student teaching, and that I would teach a concept in English. And I remember a kid, I got it now. And I felt like so overwhelmed with joy that the kid got the concept that I was trying to teach him. And she hit a nice shot out of the trap. I got it now. And I felt great. And so did she.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. The Utah Mammoth with a playoff defeat. What do they learn from this? What will it mean for Game 2? We will get to that coming up. And big money in college sports. I don't know about this whole donor fatigue thing, PK. We'll get to that at 8:30. DJ and PK, it's 97.5 KSL Sports Zone.
I sold my car in Carvana last night.
Well, that's cool.
No, you don't understand. It went perfectly. Real offer, down to the penny. They're picking it up tomorrow. Nothing went wrong.
So, what's the problem?
That is the problem. Nothing in my life goes as smoothly. I'm waiting for the catch.
Maybe there's no catch.
That's exactly what a catch would want me to think.
Wow, you need to relax.
I need to knock on wood. Do we have wood? Is this table wood?
I think it's laminate.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's close enough.
Car selling without a catch. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.